you back to our Facebook channel, the UnRuffled Ladies. I want to say good evening to all of you that's out there. Pray you had a good Sunday. Pray that you've been well, yeah. So we just want to welcome you back to our UnRuffled Lady page. You know what UnRuffled Lady mean: to be balanced, at ease, confidence. Uh, we also want to invite you to please come in and let us know that you're on. Please put your name on the screen so we can just recognize who you are. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the UnRuffled Lady YouTube channel. So thank you in advance for being with us today. We have a great topic for you today. We're talking about self-wellness, and we believe that we are all in need of that. I do want to let you know who I am. For all of you that don't know who I am Dr. G, who is the host of the UnRuffled Ladies, along with the co-host, Felicia Harris, and Rosalind is on with us today as well. So we want to just thank you for being part of UnRuffled Ladies. Let us know that you're on. Please invite your family, your friends, whoever. Text them right now. Let the UnRuffled Ladies is on, and we have some good news that we want to talk about today. We're talking about this is a month of self-awareness, and so we wanted to give you some pointers on what it is that we take care of ourselves. It's very important that we take care of ourselves. And many of us, I know, as women that especially married with children, we find ourselves many times taking care of someone else, and we forget to take care of our own self. I know I have done that with 3 kids and a husband in my lifetime. Find myself saying, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. And find myself taking that time and investing it into someone else, or my children, or my husband. But we all need to take care of ourselves. So that's very, very important. Before we get started today, I do want to just give us some insight on self-wellness before we go into our topic and talking about it today. I did a little background study on it, and it says self-wellness is about maintaining a balanced, healthy lifestyle that nurtures your mind, body, and spirit. That's really important. That nurture your mind, body, and spirit. That's very important. It is holistic to approach that include physical health, mental, and emotional. So it's that tell us right there how important self-wellness is for our mind, body, and soul. We are definitely living in a time today that we have so many challenges and so many things to think about. And if we are not really into our own self and careful about how we're treating our own body, we can lose grounds on things that we should be aware of. So it's very important that we take care of ourselves. Matter of fact, it said take care of yourself is not selfish. That's another thing. We as women, we wear so many hats, and we think because I say no to you because I have something to do for me, myself, I just shouldn't do that. In other words, I always make someone else first. But it's say taking care of yourself is not selfish. You know, so it's really, really important that you be all into yourself. Yeah, all into yourself.
Yeah.
For real. And another some key components it said about self-awareness. It includes said physical health, which is really, really important. We'll be talking about that a little bit later on today. We're talking about mental and emotional well-being. All of those things is important. Number one, spiritual growth. Spiritual. That's really, really important. And then social connection. Building and maintaining. I like that. Building and maintaining a meaningful relationship with others. Sometimes we don't have good, healthy relationship, and that brings on what? Stress. It brings on stress. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and like I say, my two uh, hosts today that we're going to be giving you some pointers of Valicia and Rosla. I want to go ahead and just start kind of asking a question. And the question that we have, I try to get questions that I feel that you may ask or you may want to know. So these questions that I'm going to be asking to them today, these are questions that I hopefully it can be helpful to you as well on your self awareness. Okay. Anyway, I want us to just start out. The number one question, I think this is a question that we all need to ask ourselves. And the number one question is, what does wellness mean to you? I think one of the things that we don't really understand that how important our health is, we can't really take care of anybody else's anybody else as well. So, Valicia, I just want to ask you that question. What does wellness mean to you? And how do you prioritize it in your daily life?
Well, for me, and let me just put this disclaimer out. We don't, um, intend to be, we're not any type of authority from a professional standpoint whatsoever. Um,
Right.
and this is pretty much to open up a dialogue for us as women, because I think many times we don't really sit down and take the time to really key in on ourselves like we really need to at times.
Right.
And so, this is just basically for us to just really open up an honest dialogue. You know,
Yes.
for me, um, wellness to me is on all levels having peace on all at all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where I don't feel, not to say that I won't have things that are disturbing to
Yeah.
occur, but even in the midst of those challenging times, I still have that peace.
Right.
I still have that assurance. I still have that positivity. I still have that faith. I have that expectation that things are still, even though I saw this saying that even though things may not be good, I'm still good.
Yes. Yes. That's good.
And so that's
That's
what wellness to me is. That's how I view wellness. Is things
mm-hmm.
may not be good, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
still good, irregardless.
That's
In
good.
regard, yeah. Yeah. Rox, do you have any input on that? You have anything you want to add to that? I'm sending out some things, so you may see me looking down right now. But yeah,
Mm.
do you have anything you want to add to that, Rosalind? Is the
Well,
question is how does I mean, what does wellness mean to you? What does wellness mean to you? And just for me, I can't say that I'm 100% uh, in the right place when it comes to really taking care of my body the way I should. I'm learning how to. For so long, I just didn't think. Uh, I just thought, hey, I'm okay, not realizing in order for me to stay okay, I had to really, you know, I needed to be really taking care of myself in a way to stay okay. And so that was my thing. But Ron, what is your intake on what does wellness mean to you?
um, yeah, first, hello everybody. Wellness. Um, you know, that we're discussing it today and it's boiling down to self-care, self-awareness. So what it means to me is when the first thought that comes to mind is self. Nobody else can do it for you. You have to take care of yourself, you know? So
Yeah.
wellness, what does wellness mean to me? There's a way I can take care of myself that nobody else can. Nobody else
Mm-hmm.
can do it for me. Wellness to me
Mm-hmm.
also means a balance. I've experienced and I realized within myself is if there's a certain part of my life that's not going right or out of balance or it seems like it might be thrown off a little bit, that affects the other part of my life. So wellness
Mm-hmm.
for me is a balance.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have the right amount of family time, the right amount of work time, the right amount of rest time, and how do I prioritize that in my daily life? I've gotten to the point now to where I don't think taking care of myself is selfish. I've learned to take care of Rosalind, you know, above all else. I know what my body needs. I know what I need mentally. I'm aware of what I need on a spiritual level. So for me, wellness mostly involves my life being balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that helps me a lot to
Yeah.
stay balanced.
I think for me
And once
too,
again,
going back to the prioritizing part of it, I'm still developing in that area, I believe.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I've gone so, being a single parent, it's kind of hard to put yourself first a lot of time. So you find
yeah.
yourself many times putting things on the back burner for yourself, and you say, there'll come a time I'll be able to, and I'll do it at that time. But even though, even as a single parent, though, there were times I had to kind of sit down and incorporate some time for myself just to keep my sanity.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Miss Felicia Johnson, she responded. She says, I'm still learning, and I feel wellness for me is definitely learning that I'm important and that I need some time for myself.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yes,
No doubt.
yes. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so important. That's what the Unruffled Ladies is all about. We're talking about being balanced. You mentioned that word balance, Rosalind.
Mm-hmm.
Taking time for ourselves. A lot of time we like I said, we invest so much time into other people and other things
Mm-hmm.
until we miss ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
don't we don't have, I can wait. We don't have to have it. And Valicia, like with you having 3 kids, being a single parent with 3 kids, if you're not real careful, you will still stay stuck in that pattern because
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know
you've done it.
you've done it so long, with
Mm-hmm.
all kids, until if you're not real careful, you'll stay stuck. Because I know that's what happened to me. I had to really have awakened myself and say, you know what? Wait a minute. That's
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
in order for me to get back into the vein of investing in myself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
some people look at it and say, "Oh, you're just a shopaholic." No, I'm not a shopaholic. I just like to invest in myself, and I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? There was a period of time in my life I couldn't do it because, like I said, I had 3 kids, and so I had to. They was first.
Yes.
They was first. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, another question that I want to ask, and I just want to encourage all of you that's out there to listen. If you have any question or you something that you want to add to this, we're talking about self wellness, and how important it is to take care of self. It's very, very important. We already
Mm-hmm.
talked about balance. I want to talk about the second question is, what small daily habits do you practice to maintain your well-being? What's something small? Because we have to start somewhere. If
Mm-hmm.
we're not already in the habit of taking care of ourselves, start with something small, just as drinking water. What
Right.
what 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 is your input, Rosalind? On
Yeah, we that is one of them. We were just talking about it earlier. Um, we're talking about small practices to maintain your well-being, and everybody knows that drinking water and getting an adequate amount of water is very, very important. Just here recently, I looked up some information and took some notes on this study on the water, and just real briefly, I'll just tell you a few things that it said about it. We're talking about maintaining your well-being, and what one of the practices is being mindful of how and when you drink water. It really does matter how you drink the water and when you drink the water and the amount. For instance, room temperature water versus cold water. It's been said, or
I
it go ahead, Lady Gina.
was getting ready to say now, what is the difference in between room temperature? Why is it necessary to drink room temperature water versus cold water?
Well, it's been stated that if you drink the cold water, what it does, it slows down the digestive process. It
Oh,
slows down
wow.
the digesting process of your food.
Wow.
It's not suggested that you drink a lot of water before you eat or after you eat. Mind you, I'm not a doctor. These are just some information that I looked into and looked up, really for people over 50. Okay, so let me
Mhm.
just say that this was targeting people over 50. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and get most of your water intake during the day. Try not to drink large amounts of water later in the evening, and to drink it slowly. Don't
Mm-hmm.
gulp down a whole bottle of water. And the reason why
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't drink a lot of water at night is because the kidneys are not going to process it, and it's being used in your body. You just end up urinating it out in the middle of the night, and it's keeping you woke. That's all you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's just
Mm-hmm.
flowing through your system and going out. So as far as small habits that I do to maintain my well-being, that's one of them. I look information up. That's a
Mm-hmm.
practice for me. I look
Mm-hmm.
up information all the time. I read food and beverage level labels, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, to assist me in taking care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my practices.
That's one advantage that we have now.
Mhm.
Like you say, what no matter what topic that we are talking about or we want to know about, you can always look it up. You can always find find information on that particular thing. Because, like you said, with water, I drink water, but I never thought about the importance and why to drink room temperature water.
Mm-hmm.
And not to drink so much water at night.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking that kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's always good to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a comment from Veronica. She said that she recently began drinking a large amount of water, and as a result, her doctor took her off two medications, and she lost 10 pounds since her last visit.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful, Veronica. Congratulations.
Yes.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's on the path to wellness.
Yes.
She, that's it. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
the coming off of two medications. That's something to be
Yeah.
celebrated. It really
Oh
is.
yeah, it is.
Really, really
Yeah.
is. So
Mhm.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
That is.
just that simple daily habit can make a big difference. You know,
Yes.
and
Mm,
one of the things that I do is, well, I came across this article about just simply making sure every morning that you make up your bed.
yes.
If you would just make sure in the morning before you leave out, you make up your bed, it's like it sets your day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when you get up and jump up and get ready and you leave your bed in a mess, your room, untidy, and you just run out to the world, it's like you just, to me, I feel disheveled, I feel disoriented
Mm-hmm.
when I go out like that. So, just doing that simple thing, I found it sets my mind in a, in order. And then one thing I saw, Deandia, she said meditation, which is so key in the morning. The
Yeah.
first thing I do, I pray and I meditate on the word of God. I think about the word in you know, what in line as to what I have set for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I meditate. I use my imagination
Mm-hmm.
to think on the word of God, and how does that um apply to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know and so and I take it out the door with me, and so it sets my day,
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah.
that, just those little things, you know
Yeah. Yeah.
um
Yeah. Yeah. that's part of one of the key components is spiritual growth. So that's really, really important. And I like what you said about making your bed up. That is so
Mhm.
true. So that's the first thing. It's either my husband or myself, whichever one get out the bed last. That's the one that's going to make the bed. But to set
Mhm.
that tone mentally,
Yeah,
to
mentally.
know come back into chaos.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not coming back in, walking back into your house to everything is kind of in order.
Yes.
So it's a mental thing. It helps you, think. Because
Mhm.
clutter
Yeah,
can cause you to not think.
exactly.
Yeah. So
That's a part of
that.
your
Yeah,
that's
I
a
like how you
part of
said that.
your physical health too. Getting up
Mhm.
in your bed, you're getting your body moving.
Yeah, get
You're
your body
moving your
moving.
arms and you walking around the
Yeah.
bed. That's why I do it. Now,
Mhm.
it's for me, it's not more mental, but it's the simple fact that I know that it's aiding the physical part of my body and getting me moving.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Another thing that I really want to mention and part of that is exercising. So I
Oh.
have made a conscious decision that because now that they have different types of exercise, and I was
Mhm.
walking, but
Mhm.
I don't walk now because it's hot. So now they
Mhm.
have exercise. So whatever your age group is, it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
just taking care of your body.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
I was looking at the chair exercises and the things do to help you, tighten up your muscles. And it's
Mhm.
something about exercise. It also works on the mind,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
mentally well. So
Yes.
get the plug in some type of exercise,
Mhm.
whether you're going outside to exercise or you staying in the house doing exercise. Or they even have you can just put on YouTube, and they have a
Mhm.
lot of different exercises that you can do right in your own house.
Oh yes.
So it's no excuse that we have to not take care of ourselves. We're talking about self wellness today.
Mhm.
Self wellness. Another question
Mhm.
that I would like to ask: is anybody else have any answers that they want to share?
Mhm.
Okay. Another question that I have: how do you cope with stress, and what technique have you found most effective? Whichever one can answer that one.
I think we
How do
both
you
can
cope with stress?
we
And
both can reply to that one, I'm sure. All of
Well, I
how do
know
you
what
cope with it? Because there's a lot of that are, but what give us some good tips that we can pass along on how to cope with stress.
Mhm. Well, I've been focusing on the exercise part. I have found um, incorporating that daily in some way helps me release a lot of stress. Um, and then I'm gonna tell you something else, and it's just me. When I find myself under a lot of stress, or if I feel overwhelmed, uh, or maybe overexerted in a certain way, I pray in tongues a lot. I pray in tongues a lot. It,
Mm-hmm.
especially during those times, I pray in tongues because when you're under stress, you'll find yourself reacting or doing something out of your nature,
Mm-hmm.
you know, doing something out of the nature
Mm-hmm.
of what God wants. You may find yourself, if you're under stress, you become irritable sometimes, because you might be frustrated about something. Um, you might be overwhelmed about something. And so instead of you uh, being proactive about it, you react to things. So when I find myself praying in the spirit, I pray in tongues, it helps me to be proactive about the situation as opposed to me reacting out of my flesh. So that's what helps me
Mm-hmm.
very much on and actually in all areas, depending on
Mm-hmm.
if it's something, maybe something from a relationship standpoint, or mental.
Mm-hmm.
So I rely on that very much. And then also the exercising,
Mm-hmm.
moving my body helps to release the physical tension that I may build up over the day. So coming in usually in the evenings, I'll just put on the YouTube. I have a particular person I like her style as far as exercise, and it's not something that just drains me or wears me out, but actually after I'm done, I feel energized. I feel released. So those are the things that I incorporate.
Those are good ones
To
too,
release the stress.
Pastor D.
Awesome.
We have some responses.
Fan.
We have some responses. I'm going to give you a checklist on reducing stress in just a little bit, but we have some responses from our Facebook audience. And Miss Diane Peters, she's saying learning to control your controllables. Good. Learning to control your controllables. This is Miss Deborah Franklin. This is one of my, a big one for me. Setting boundaries. Yeah. She said setting boundaries and taking naps. I used to didn't take no nap. What's a nap? What was that? Who takes a nap? Yeah. A person who self-cares takes naps.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Deborah.
Can I put a pin right there? Because it brought me back to the memory of my grandmother, Laura. I kid you not. Every day she found 1 hour in the day. She was on after she get through doing all her certain things. It was that 1 hour in the day she was gonna take a nap. I mean, literally like clockwork. She would lay out on the sofa and she'd take her nap.
Yeah.
And after that hour was up, she get up and she get to doing whatever else she got to do. But this was every day. Every day.
Wow.
Believe it or not, my mom did the same thing every day. She may go to work that morning, but she's gonna come back, take her nap, then she get up and she gonna so and so that's key right there. You know what? Now I find myself taking a nap. When I come in the evening time, I'm gonna go on that sofa and take me a nap.
So we could have growing up.
What did Felicia?
She said mirror talks have saved.
I see her name on there. What?
She said mirror talks have saved me many times.
Oh yeah, mirror talks.
Yeah.
Now that's good.
Yeah, one-on-one.
Getting in the mirror, one-on-one.
I'm laughing because
you know what? I'm in total agreement to. And you know what? My husband definitely does it. Matter of fact, he called his name out, David. And whatever he said to David, and then David turned around and answered David. So mirror talks. That's awesome.
I'm laughing because whenever I've done it, Felicia, I was fussing at myself. I mean, real good. It's like, now you know what you're doing. You know better than that. How come you? Why you?
Yeah.
I'd be fussing at myself, seriously. Let me say this. Emotional wellness is the ability to successfully handle life's stresses. What's the key word there? Successfully. Emotional awareness is the ability to successfully handle life's stresses and adapt to change and difficult times. We think we're dealing with life changes and stuff because we just going through it. It doesn't mean we're doing it successfully. Because if you're having to take this, drink that, drink this, do all this other stuff to help you cope, that's not handling it successfully. It's not. And I'm not saying that I've never done something or put some additives in there to help me cope. Yes, I have. I've went shopping. I bought stuff I wasn't supposed to buy. And it was to take my mind off of the stressful stuff I was going through in my life. Now, I ended up taking it back. I kept the receipt, but I'm just telling you, I went shopping. So anyway, reduce stress. Everyone feels stress from time to time. Stress can give you a rush of energy when it's needed most. But if stress lasts a long time, a condition known as chronic stress, those high alert changes become harmful rather than helpful. Learning healthy ways to cope with stress can also boost our resilience. Some of the health manage
That's good.
some of the things that help us manage stress. We just talked about sleep. We talked about getting naps. Miss Deborah reminded us, take a nap. You're that important to where just give some time to yourself, take a nap. Get enough sleep. Exercise regularly. I know that just sounds like something you hear somebody say all the time. You see them on Facebook, people that go to the gym. But this is the month of August, which they chose to use as National Self-Care Month. So this is a time for you to be aware and really ask yourself a serious questions. Am I exercising? Am I doing as much as I could be doing? And what am I doing when I could be exercising? I ask myself that. What you doing right now, Rosalind? Why can't you get in that chair and do some of those exercises? But this is that time for that. Build a social support network. Lady Jean and Pastor B and I were talking about that the other day. I need to do that. I need to maintain some healthy relationships. And that's not saying I don't have any. I just have very few. Why? Because that's what works for me. But I do need to, kind of do some more community stuff and stuff like that. We're talking about tips that can help manage stress. Set priorities. Decide what must get done and what can wait. Say no to new tasks if they're putting you into overload. Oh, let me raise my hand on that one. There's so many times, guys,
like the enemy is trying to say,
I've had too much on my plate. Way too much. Another thing, Miss Deborah saying, another thing to remember is don't feel guilty for taking care of yourself so many times that cause stress, and we have to let it go.
Yeah.
We have to let it go. Don't feel guilty. That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good
That is really, really good, because there come times that you have overload, you have too much going on, and you like all this stuff, but it's stressing you out.
Yeah.
And you have to get to a place where you say, okay, I can't do that. I can't do all of that. So I love it all. I like it all, but I got to let it go. I got to let two of these things have to go.
Yeah.
And I like how she said, don't feel guilty by letting it go. If you know that this is what stresses you out or you overloaded, don't feel guilty because you have to let something go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
You might need to delegate.
It's better for you to be in mental. Yes.
And Miss DeAndrea
said something walking.
Miss DeAndrea says that she likes to walk outside where she can see God's creation. It helps you to remember what the words say about if he could cause the trees to grow, etc. How more will he do for me? Yeah, that's when, DeAndrea, I'm outside. After I wake up and go downstairs and do what I'm doing, I go out. I go outside. I'm outside between 5:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning. I just want to feel what it feels like that early, when the atmosphere is still it's still quiet, you know, and I can see the trees, and you're right.
Yeah. I can attest to that too. My first thing I do, one of the first things I do, I love the sunlight. And I just open up my blinds, open up my windows, and I just want to see your sun, Lord. I just want to feel the warmth.
Yeah.
You know, and just looking at nature and creation, how he created things, just down to the smallest things, you know, it's just amazing.
It is. It is. Set priorities. Don't overload yourself. Show compassion. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lady Gina. Go ahead, Lady Gina.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Show compassion for yourself.
I think I lost my thought.
Oh yeah, show compassion. Yes. Compassion for yourself. Don't beat yourself up all the time about everything. That's one thing, you know, I have to stop myself from doing. If it's something that I just could not do, or something I had no control over, I had to learn how to release it and stop beating myself up. I would beat myself up till just like, oh my God. I didn't realize how bad I was doing it to myself.
Yes. Yes.
So I had to learn how to just stop and say, take a pause and say, look, I express my intent to the Lord, and I cast the care on him, and I keep on. I just let it go.
Yeah.
There was a time, I mean, in my brain, in my mind, I would have whipped myself so bad.
Exactly. Exactly. That was one of the things I took away from Michelle. I was listening to one of her speakers, and she said, "It's okay to not to be perfect. You know, be okay with. Stop trying to be everything. I mean, just that alone can stress you out, because I wanted everything to be done just, you know, and a lot of things that I wouldn't even try to, that I probably could do, but I thought I couldn't do it in a very professional, perfect way, so I just wouldn't do it.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And she said it's okay to be perfect. Just do your best in what you do. You know, and that's stress right there all by itself.
Yeah.
That's a mentally thing too, all by just like you said, being so hard on yourself. Yeah. So we're talking about wellness. Another question that I want to ask: do you have anything they said that we need to address before I ask the next question?
I did want to mention, at the end of the day, how often do we think about what didn't get done? Celebrate your accomplishments of the day. Think about what you did do. That has to do with showing yourself compassion.
Yeah.
Think about the things that you accomplished, some of the things that you addressed, what you felt good about. Just don't get to the end of the day and beat yourself up. Schedule regular times for relaxing activities that use mindfulness, and seek help. Know when you need help. Okay, those are some things just for addressing stress. Try to manage stress.
I want to ask this question. It said, what are some challenges you are facing in your wellness journey, and how have you overcome them? What are some of the challenges you have faced in your wellness journey, and how have you overcome them?
I'm just gonna
Either
speak.
one of you can answer that.
I'll just speak one for myself first, and that is, like what Felicia said, realizing that I am important. What happens to me is important, you know? And in my journey, one of the challenges was me being able to take some stuff off my plate and really not feel bad about it. Here comes that, what Ms. Deborah said, not feel guilty about it. So some of the challenges for me was allowing myself to just bring it down a couple of notches. You know, not stay so busy. There were times when I was busy from sun up to sundown. And it just got the best of me, because my mom told me a long time ago when I was like 30, she said, Jeanette, if you don't slow down, you're going to regret it. And now I know exactly what she was talking about. And one of my struggles, guys, this is really serious right here. One of my struggles is, even though I brought it down a few notches, I've taken some stuff off of my plate and I'm a little bit more balanced and relaxed. Well, let me not use the word relax too openly, but sometimes in my head, I still feel like I have a need to get up and do something. Anybody experience that? Sometimes I have to make myself, I have to say, no, it's 9 o'clock at night. I am not finna go drag that stuff out that closet, take it outside and put it in the storage room and then come back in and hello. I have to make myself not do it.
Yeah.
This is real talk right here. On the inside of me, I feel uneasy because I'm not up doing something. That's not good. It wasn't good. So that was a challenge for me. That was a challenge for me.
Yeah. You know, one of my clients long years ago, that was before I made 50 years old. And everybody's on this line, every year you're getting a year older. Every day, matter of fact, you're getting a day older. And I was getting ready to be 50, and I was kind of like, oh my God, I'm getting ready to be 50, half of 100. Wow. You know, I was just kind of like having a panic attack, you know. And she spoke and she said, grow old gratefully. And so that's part of self-wellness. You know, whenever she say, just get in the bathtub sometime and just put candles all around and just get in some hot water and just put your arms around yourself. And she said, get in the mirror, put your arms around yourself, love yourself, talk to yourself, tell yourself that you're beautiful, tell yourself that, you know, whatever that is that you need. You know, that's part of self-wellness. You know, building yourself up. How do you know if you don't build yourself up, you might not get it from anybody else. Sometimes we always waiting for somebody else to tell us, but it have to start with us. You know, self-wellness. We say self-wellness. It have to begin with you. And I'm taking that with me all this time, you know. And like I said, she told me that just before I made 50 years old, thanks be unto God, I'm 72 years old. But I took that and I began to grab hold to that, to just sometime just sit and love on me, hug me. You know, tell myself that, hey, girl, you did a very good job today. You know, whatever it takes to keep you mentally sound, where you can function properly, or you can grow older, healthy, happy. You know, it's all about you being happy. You know, and so all that come with self-wellness, taking care of yourself, sleeping, taking that nap if you need to, you know, whatever that is, I made a conscious decision once a month. I'm gonna do something real grand for myself. I'm gonna go out and go to some nice places that I haven't even seen right here in Houston.
Right.
I'm gonna experience something different. That's gonna be something for me. So if I have to take off, not something that I've been doing, to have the extra money to go do that, that's what I'm gonna do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do we have any questions from anybody else? I mean, any answers or questions, whatever.
Yes, we do. Share. Felicia responded. She said that the hardest thing for her is sticking to her plan. So she said that she has to keep telling herself, no, that's not what we agreed on. So stay focused is a must. Stay focused. Yep. Distractions will come. Distractions will come.
Focus.
Did you see Yandia? She said that to keep from doing something, she She says that I have to actually get in the bed to keep me from doing something.
Yes.
And so, and that is so true.
Yes.
Because
What about
you know,
that?
it's like you a toy. Once you get wound up, you just be going and going and
That's
going and
it.
going, and
That's
then
it.
it's hard to turn you off.
That's
So
it.
you have to
Yeah.
like literally. I can relate
Yeah.
to what she's saying, because there are times now I have to cut. It's like I have to cut myself off. I need to go to sleep at a decent hour. So cut
Yeah.
off the YouTube, cut off the social media, just cut it off. At this time, you're gonna lay down and you're
Cut
gonna
it off.
go to sleep so that you get plenty rest and be ready for the next day. And your body will feel, you won't wake up feeling tired, you know. So yeah, and then
Yeah.
I add a little bit of this with it. This right here, I do my aromatherapy on my sheets. You can go to Bath and Body and they come in big bottles too. But I get a
Yeah.
nice fragrance that I like,
Oh yeah, sure.
and I spray it on my pillows and on my
Yeah.
sheets. And then, I got my
Yeah.
lights dimmed the way I
Yeah.
like it, and I climb up in that bed, get my good rest. So this is my self-care. This is one of my little things I
Yes.
do for me.
All right.
Go to Bath and Body. You can get your
Yeah.
little spray,
Yeah.
little bed spray. Spray it in your air in your room.
Yeah.
It just is a lavender scent. Lavender actually is a scent that is help to relax you. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Ex-
Um.
Exactly.
Never.
Exactly.
No, Felicia, you're not alone. You're not the only one. Okay, you are not the only one. But we're better, right? We are better. We have learned how to turn ourselves off and say, you know what? I've done all I'm gonna do for today. Enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Enough
Enough
is
is
enough.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Miss McDaniel, she said, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Mhm.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness. What you got, Lady Gina?
Oh wow. Wow. Wow.
What you have for us, Lady
Yes. So
Gina?
I just want we're talking about wellness. And so I just want to encourage all of us, let's take care of ourselves. We are the temple of the Holy Ghost. And so it's very important that we take care of this body. We have to
Mhm.
take care of this body. One other question. Okay, let's see what I have not asked. Uh, how do you set boundaries to protect your mental and emotional health?
Ooh.
How do you set boundaries? We done kind of touched on that a little bit, but give
Yeah,
us
we
some
did.
specific,
Mm, mm.
some of a specific. Is that how do what did I
Oh
let me
my
read it
goodness.
again? How do you set boundaries to protect mental and emotionally health?
I don't know. I don't even know if I should get
We have
started.
to set boundaries.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should even speak on that one because we ain't got enough time. We don't have enough time. But I will say this.
Or
I
just
will say this.
yeah.
You have to have some. Period. You have to have some
Yeah.
boundaries. Period. But it's asking us, how do you set them
Mm-hmm.
to protect your mental and emotional health? Not everybody else's. Watch this.
And emotion.
We set the boundaries. We'll set them, but we ourselves will allow ourselves and other people to cross them so that their mental and emotional health can be good. But we don't work on our own. We forget about ourselves. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
We do set the boundaries, but
Mm-hmm.
we cross them ourselves and we allow others to violate them because
Mm.
we looking out more for them than we are ourselves. What does the word say? What does the word
Mm-hmm.
say about that? It says,
Mm-hmm.
somebody help me out here. Love your neighbor as you love your who?
Love yourself.
Yourself. So that
Mhm.
means you're not going to do more for
Yourself.
somebody else than you would do for yourself. If you can do it for them, you can do it for you, right? So setting those boundaries
That's
look,
right.
that key word is protect. Protect your
To
mental and
protect your
emotional.
mental and
Yes. You owe
yeah.
it to yourself to set
You know
some
what I decided,
boundaries.
that that's right. And that's what I have done in my life. Things that I don't want to do at that moment, I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't let nobody talk me into doing it. If I don't
Mm-hmm.
Right.
want to do that at that moment, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. You don't
That's
have to
that's a
keep on
boundary
it.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, because if you're not careful, because that you grow up trying to make everybody else happy all the time. First of all,
Mm.
you grow up as a child, so it's very important that you always make your parents happy. And then you may start, after you get grown, then you start a family, you have a husband, so it's still about making somebody else's happy. To
Mm-hmm.
have good friends, or to have a friend, you want to do what they want you to do, to be in that group, or you want to be in the eclipse,
Yeah.
the executive. Then you need to do this, although not what you want. And you find yourself throughout life just to be a part of, and what it does, it mentally drains you,
Yeah.
it emotionally drains you.
You
So
lose
you
yourself.
have to set boundaries of
Mm-hmm.
what you do and what you are not going to do. Not to say that you would never do it, but for that moment may not be a good time for you to do it, and you got to be okay with that. I think
Mm-hmm.
Deborah said that, feel about, don't feel guilty about
Right.
things that you have to
Let
put
go
on.
of. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I have to do in my time, in my age. That there are things that, hey, I'm not going to do that. That's
Mm-hmm.
no, that's nothing for me. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to. I don't want to be a part of that, right? And feel okay about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's come with when you learn that you don't have to try to impress
Ooh, yeah.
anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do it to try to impress, or to try to make a person feel a certain way about you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I've come to the conclusion that that's not necessary for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I got to feel good about me. So
Right.
that's the question. It say, how do you set boundaries to protect
Mm-hmm.
your mental and emotional health?
Mm-hmm.
You know what
What
I
is what
wanted
is
to bring
everybody else
out?
saying? Somebody give me some.
Well, there's just
Go
certain
ahead.
things relationship wise I've had to learn how to set boundaries for me. Because when you don't when you don't set boundaries with people in relationships, you find yourself, like you were saying, you're trying to please this person, trying to please that person, and it's like you just lose all concept of who you are. You lose yourself in the process of trying to appease everyone else. And so and
Mhm.
if it's something that I'm not feeling it, or in my nowhere, I just know I'm not getting with it, then I know, okay, that's not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And make it known that's not my thing.
Mhm.
And if you got a problem with that I can't help you, you know, and be okay with that, you
Mhm.
know. So that's been
Yes.
my challenge, even with my children sometimes, because your children sometimes they
Yes.
expecting certain things
Oh,
that they feel
absolutely.
like you should, and da 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 da. And and
Yeah.
sometimes as a parent you go through guilt behind that, because you don't want to disappoint your kids, but then at the
Yeah.
same time, you have to stand your
Yeah.
ground with your children too, to keep yourself,
That's true. I-
you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
I don't have that
Yeah. What
problem
is Christine
today.
saying? I see.
Yeah, Miss
I see.
Christina, she says
Minister Christine Brackett.
yes. She says no when it's not in your power to do. Be okay with saying no.
Yeah. No.
Is that
Just
not the word? That's the word. The word
yeah.
says
No.
let your
Let your
yes
yay be
yes and
yay and let
no
your nay
no.
be nay.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. No.
But it's so
No.
funny. When you're a small child has no problem saying no.
You are
But
so
as you
right.
become as you grow and as you develop and you come into adulthood, that word is a challenge.
It's
Isn't
like
that something?
bad.
If you
Yeah.
say no to
Yeah.
something to somebody as an
Yeah.
adult, they think you know something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Deborah said, "No is a complete
Yeah.
sentence." I like that. No
That
is
is
a
so true.
complete
That
sentence.
is
Yes, yes.
I like that. Oh my goodness.
wow. Wow. Well, look, you guys, we are getting so time is about spent. One other question that I have, uh, is that how does your social environment impact your wellness,
Mm,
and
mm.
Mm.
how do you cultivate positive relationship? How do you cultivate positive relationship?
I'm going to say this about how social environment impact my wellness. We're all different. Everything that works for everybody don't work for everybody. We know that.
Mhm.
But for me, social environment, I don't need a lot of it. I don't require a lot of engagement. And then when I'm forced to do it, I feel depleted. I feel drained. It takes
Mm-hmm.
everything within me to force myself to be in an environment that I really don't want to be in. But for whatever reason, I might have to. Okay. Not saying that I can't, but how it impacts my
Mm-hmm.
wellness is I'm one of those type of people. I need some air, ain't nobody else breathing. I need to be in a space by
Mm-hmm.
myself. That's how I regenerate. That's how I get more of me to give. That's what I need. I need to feed me everything I need
Mm-hmm.
to get back out there and give y'all some more. I got to give
Mhm.
it to myself first. I can't give you what I
Mm-hmm.
don't have, right?
Mhm.
Uh
Mm-hmm.
and how do I cultivate positive relationships? Like I said, everybody's different. We were talking about this last night or the other day. I give too much of me to give it to 20 people. I have to I have to cultivate positive relationships on a minimum level, meaning minimal people, because I can't give 120%
Mm-hmm.
to 20 people. I can only give it to a few.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And that's how I
Mm-hmm.
cultivate positive relationships, because they're genuine, they're intentional,
Mm-hmm.
and they get a certain amount of my
Mm-hmm.
effort, time, and sometimes money. Am I making myself clear? That's how I cultivate positive relationships. I just don't have that many. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. You don't have it. You don't have to. You're not overloaded with other people. That's
No.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the audience? Is the audience saying anything about how does you how does your social environment impact your wellness, and how do you cultivate positive relationship?
Mhm.
Is the audience have anything to say on that?
No, I don't see anything as of yet. But now for me, I my thing for social environment for me by nature, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
person that like to I like my lone space, you know. But I have found that uh, putting myself out there to engage with other people, coming because I grew up very shy. So for me, it's a
Mm-hmm.
challenge for me to make connections with people sometimes. And so I've gotten better
Mm-hmm.
about, you know, being the person to initiate conversation with someone, without feeling like, I need to shrink back. So I find that I put myself out there more. And I find that, I'm able to, make connections with other people, at different levels, you know. And so I just kind of go like, for me, it's like, one at a time. Whoever I come in contact with, whether it be at work or whether it be, church or whatever it is, I think it's a growing thing for me to be able to to put myself out there more and be more assertive, in engaging, being open to engaging with other people that are different from me, that think different from me, you know. Um, so that's where I am. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, like I said, our time is have ran out. We just want to thank all of you that was been a part today. We thank you for engaging. It makes it so much easier when you engage. Now, I do want to ask you to do one thing. Please share it. Please share with others, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We are on every second and fourth Sunday of the month. Every fourth Sunday of the month. And so please join us. Tell somebody else about the UnRuffled Ladies. It's all about being balanced. It's all about having confidence in who God created you to be. It's always being in a place at ease, being comfortable with you. And whenever you're comfortable with you, you can always be comfortable with others. You can, as the Bible says, you will do unto others as you want done unto you. Well, it got to start within you. You cannot do good to someone else if you're not good to you. So learning how to be good to yourself. Thank you so much for being with us. Please join us again on the next second Sunday coming up, which is the 8th. I believe September the 8th is the September the 8th is we will be back on again, and also September the 22nd, I believe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we just peace. May the blessing of Abraham be upon your life. God bless you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good evening. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.